God.
10 minutes ago, yeah. Got into records because I found an old record player in my house. It was like an old cabinet one
Yeah.
that my parents had from like back in the 60s. And I found it, and my friend was actually doing a project of reggae artists in Toronto who
Yeah.
came from Jamaica to Toronto. And he brought me up to a couple shows, and then he was the one that actually got me into buying records themselves. So
Okay.
that's what got me into it. Probably like maybe 15, 20 years ago.
Oh, wow, okay.
Maybe 15 years ago, I'd say. I usually come to Toronto for my records. I live in Burlington.
Okay.
We have one main record shop there, but if I want to do like a good day of record shopping, I come to Toronto.
Okay.
And I know like Toronto has a bunch of record shops here.
Yeah.
For me, it's mostly the sound quality.
Yeah.
I love like the old like sound of like the crackling, and I just love listening to it at home.
Yeah.
As opposed to like listening to it on like digital and iPod and stuff, which is still pretty good. I
Yeah.
still like that, but there's something else to buying like an old record that's like a used record from like the 60s, and I find it's like kind of music is part of like time. Like someone else had that record at one point in their
Yeah.
life. Now it's yours, and so it's like you're carrying someone's like music legacy somewhere else. So I like that. I actually got some of my other friends into record shopping. My brother's here, and I got him into record shopping as well. I like listening to a lot of reggae and hip hop,
Yeah.
but I'm also a big fan of like old rock, and I mostly like everything actually, like R&B, jazz, a little bit of country, anything that really has like a good beat. I mean, anything really. If I haven't heard it before, sometimes I'll take a risk and I'll just buy something I've never heard before, and I'll get it home, and
Yeah.
sometimes I'll actually like it. I'll be like, oh, it's pretty good. It mostly just started as like a hobby for me, and then
Yeah.
I kind of turned it into a profession because I'm actually a DJ for weddings actually.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, the hobby kind of turned into a passion for me, and then it spawned from there. And I'm a DJ that actually still brings records to his shows.
Oh.
Record player right now is a Technics SSL 1200 M3D. It's pretty vintage,
Yeah.
used. Most turntables nowadays you see on the market are for budgeting or like economic value.
Yeah.
I tried out those first, and I noticed a lot of feedback. It didn't really sound as clear, or didn't have a lot of confidence playing my vinyl a lot, just because like all the extra noise. So once I upgraded to Technics like SL1200, I was very impressed. Yeah, no, it has a lot of history, so a lot of DJs use it. It's a standard. Literally, I was on Kijiji just streaming around used ones.
Yeah.
It's very fishy, so I went to a few houses and a few guys' places to check out their turntables. Some I would open up and I see like Coke spilt inside, and it's like, wow, you're trying to sell this for $500? I see. So yeah, Kijiji is one place to check out, but make sure you know what you're doing and what you're looking for. My very first vinyl was actually Subtract, self-titled. I was really impressed by it. It blew me away just because it was like standard production of today on vinyl. You know, kind of going backwards from digital to analog. And ever since then, I was like, I gotta get myself a turntable, and that's where the adventure started. Started going backwards now to like 70s, 80s vinyl. Hasn't stopped since.
Okay.
I'm kind of hesitant to pick up some 45s just because they're so old that I don't know if it would sound the same. It's nice. I mean, like when we go around exchanging like recommendations, what we have in our crates, it's pretty fun.
Yeah.
We trade here and there.
Yeah.
I mean, you fall in love with it. It's not like not everyone falls in love with like, let's say, rock music, but when you hear that first riff, that wah sound, it's something like everyone has to have on their own. Like they arrive on their own terms. You can't really like shove vinyl in their face and like, hey, you gotta listen to this.
Yeah.
They listen to it. What's the difference?
Yeah.
I'm not looking for it. But I mean,
Yeah.
as I said, I fell into it. It hit me hard. I'm still stuck in this hole of like loving vinyl. Many things actually. I mean, like the nostalgia is one. And also just like when you hear the dust on the record just collect, you're just like, wow, this thing's been around for like 40 years. And you look into the history of like where the vinyl was pressed, it's like, wow, Toronto, Canada, I was born here. You know, and it's just like you're listening to it, Steely Dan, what? No way. It was played right here. Or even like listen to some tracks like the breakbeats you hear in there, and the beautiful thing about memory really impresses me. Like you hear just one song, it's a sample too. But you hear it again 10 years later, I know this song. And then people are just like, I don't know the name, I don't know the artist, but it just hits me hard. And that's like the beauty of music. It's like, I don't know, you can't really put into words.
Got it for my birthday maybe last year. I just kind of like collecting records, to be honest. I find that when you actually put it on, it just takes so much work that you actually put more attention to it. Just in the ritual of buying records is nice too. Just a lot of old music. I don't usually go for the the reissues or the new releases.
Okay.
Just anything that that's kind of it'd be cheaper on vinyl than any other format. I don't like to spend so much money.
Okay.
It's a nostalgic reason. I quite like having the thing.
Yes.
I think it sounds better.
Great.
I kind of always have it on my life, I think.
Yeah.
I mean, if I had unlimited money, I'd probably go and get an old Technics or something. But I tend to buy old records that I know, and this is the greatest album that's ever made. It had everything, I think, even sort of mini discs and things. If I go around someone's house and I see they've got a record player, I'm quite impressed.
I used to collect CDs a lot, and I found when coming into like a place like here,
Yeah.
a lot of people were buying records.
Yeah.
Like 5 years ago, so I switched it over to records.
So you
nobody's buying CDs anymore. So
Yeah.
my brother used to be heavily into it, but
Yeah.
I didn't really get married as kids. Yeah, that was 600 records.
Oh, 600 records. That's pretty.
Wow.
That's a lot. That's a big
Tracked it
record.
Over 5. Oh, it just sounds better. Way
Sounds better?
Yeah.
Vinyls?
Having physical items instead of.
Yeah.
I mean, even like records actually go up in value.
Yeah.
Whereas you just have streaming. It's no value, right?
Yeah.
And plus, Spotify or an artist could take an album off the Spotify or Apple Music at any time, and you've lost
Yeah.
it. So.
Yep.
I love the experience of listening to records.
Yeah.
And then I also DJ, so
Okay.
to have stuff to play out. I have 2 Techniques turntables.
Okay.
Yeah, I bought it on Craigslist.
Yeah.
Yeah, just through a friend.
Yeah,
Yeah, and
okay.
a really good record store in my neighborhood. It's like a physical experience.
Mm-hmm.
I think you have to be like thoughtful about it, and it's
Yeah.
tangible rather than just like clicking a button.
I like everything from jazz to folk, rock and blues. Some of my favorite artists are Radiohead, Tame Impala, Sam Roberts Band, Ray Charles. The list goes on, as you can probably see from the records behind me. I got my first record player when I was 14. I got it from my uncle, who got it from a friend and gave it along to me, along with his old record collection. Analog is great in the sense that it's instantaneous. You drop the needle and it's automatically playing. I would call myself an audiophile, and audio quality and fidelity is really important to me. So I've upgraded my table a number of times. The turntable I have now, I've upgraded a few times, and now I have a Project Debut Carbon turntable with a carbon fiber tone arm and an Ortophone 2M Red cartridge. What I really like about albums is that it's a throwback to the way that artists created music. They really did design music for an entire side. They would create 20, 25 minutes of music, and it was designed to be listened to straight through. Nowadays, with playlists, we have much shorter attention spans, and we don't fully appreciate the creative vision that the artist was intending as they produced that record. I'll admit that I've been called a hipster as a result of this. I think the difference is that the quality of the equipment that I've collected and purchased over the years sets it apart from your average hipster that has bought a Crosley or a sub $200 portable record player. There's a noticeable quality and volume difference between the two. With record players, the sky's the limit in terms of price. You can go upwards of $200,000 on a record player if you really want to. If you get a bad record that's filled with pops and skips and scratches, it's going to sound pretty terrible. You have to be a little bit concerning when you're going out and purchasing vinyl. You have to inspect it and make sure that it looks like it's in decent condition. At least in Toronto, you can go to Sonic Boom and you can pay up to an average of $40 to $60 a record. I purchase mine from Amazon for ones that are more difficult to find. There are a number of small second-hand shops around the city. I see collecting records as a reaction against something that was missing for our generation. We never had that experience of going to stores, discovering new music in the same way that previous generations had. And our generation has also seen the CD become obsolete. So we're really reticent to collect something that could become obsolete. And vinyl is a throwback. It's a format that audiophiles have been using for essentially since the advent of music, or the advent of recorded music. One of the technologies that exists but is currently incredibly expensive is called a laser record player, and it doesn't have a needle, and there's no physical contact being made between the vinyl and the device that's reading it. These are currently priced at around $3,000, and you can only buy them from Japan because it's a proprietary technology. The audio quality is supposed to be far more advanced and superior, but I would be certainly interested in purchasing one of those devices if it was at a reasonable price. So this has to be my favorite album. It's Weezer's The Blue Album. It's Mobile Fidelity Sound Lab, which goes back to the original analog tapes and essentially does an exact copy with great audio fidelity. So I'll show you what it sounds like.
Are you gonna dance for us?